Oh, welcome back. I was preparing this video anyway, but it's all the more pertinent now because of the Hilltop Machine Works fire. Best wishes to Tom. Wish him a speedy recovery. Now, I've been heating my shed with a log burner, which is down here, for a few years. Kept me nice and warm through COVID, working from home, which was just there. But having seen Cliff Shed, How to Make Everything, now Hilltop Machine Works, and probably countless others, having a fire in a wooden shed is probably asking for it. So I'm probably on borrowed time, so I'm going to ditch the log burner and try out this air source heat pump / air conditioner unit, and hopefully that'll be able to do the job quite nicely. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to have a go with one of these was we're all being encouraged to fit air source heat pumps in our homes instead of gas boilers. So I wanted to get a feel for the things before I spend a lot of money putting one in the house, just to see whether it is the right answer. Now, some of you may remember that last year I bought this air conditioner / heat pump machine. I just couldn't find a good position for this in the workshop based on where its intakes and outtakes are, and the one that I've bought is designed to be wall mounted, nice and flat, with a closed circuit to the outside and a closed circuit to the inside, unlike this one, which has got a sort of a shared air intake, which is going to draw in outside air and reduce the overall efficiency. This is going to have a new life in the house. The new one's got a remote control, which means it can be set to come on in the night when I've got cheap electricity. The idea of that being that I'll try and keep the shed at a more constant temperature, rather than with the log burner it just got very hot and then got very cold. With this it's going to stay more stable. Yes, it's going to go up and down a few degrees, but I mean, over the past week or so that I've had this thing running, it's warmed up in the night. I mean, I've had it set at 23. I've never really seen what it's got to because it happens in the middle of the night. But you know, when I've come in the evening, it's down at maybe 16, 17 degrees, which is still fairly pleasant for this time of year. Whereas this thing was very dumb, so this thing's a bit better to use. So the main available space in my shed was at the back of the workbench. The toolboxes and so on don't go all the way back. There was another toolbox at the back which basically had just some rubbish in it. That's gone now, and it fits this air conditioner unit rather nicely in the back there. It looks a bit cramped, but there's plenty of room under here for airflow, as you can see. So it doesn't have a problem warming this place up. It warms up very quickly with that. The thing's got a coefficient of performance of about 3.5, something like that. It uses around about a kilowatt of electricity when it's running, so you get 3 kilowatts, or nearly 3.5 kilowatts out of it for every kilowatt of electricity you put in. So that's good. So let's have a look at how this thing gets fitted. So this is the template that comes with the unit. The thing can be floor mounted, so which is what I intend to do, but obviously it wants to be hung on the wall rail, so I'm just going to elevate this ever so slightly and just tack it on the wall. I'm just going to spot the holes through with a 4mm wood drill. Right, now the fun bit. We need to put a big hole through the wall. Right, so next step is to line the cavity, although I probably don't need to do this. I'll do it anyway, because if there's moisture, you don't want it going down the insides, you want it to all go outside. So yeah, they supplied these sheets to line the cavity, assuming you've got a sort of like a cavity wall or something. It's a bit of a strange way of doing it. I don't know why they can't just give you a tube to cut down. Probably just cheap. Just marked out 2 strips 80mm wide, which I'll cut and then put in these holes, and I can fit the vent bits. Up. So next is the grills. These are funny things. Never seen this done before, but basically they're split so you can push them through, and then you've got these chains and springs so you can pull them back. So it's got an up and a down arrow. So if I push that through and then open it up, I can get that inside my, hopefully get that inside my hole. So done a small amount of fettling and it fits. Now these are supposed to go in a cavity wall in a house, which is 300mm thick. This wall is only 80mm thick. So of course this spring chain system is supposed to hook onto this bit here isn't going to work because it's too short. So I'm just going to take these springs off and silicone the thing on the outside, screw it on the inside, and I've done with it. Right, after far too much buggering about, I finally got them in. They're both in. I've got the liners in. Okay, so having just tried, they're not adjustable feet, so I'm going to pop it back off and stick some extra screws on the hanging bracket, and then we'll just hang it. It'll be fine. So having just run it for a bit, I've found that the foam on the back of the air conditioner doesn't butt up against the vents in the wall because of this. I think this is too close to the wall. So I've added a thinnish piece of wood there, which is about, I don't know, 6mm, quarter of an inch behind the whole thing, just to stand the unit off, because basically it was sort of cantilevering off here, and it was out a lot further at the bottom than it was at the top. So I think the wall isn't very flat or something. So what I've done is I've brought this out, and I've also added some extra foam around the vents. So I built a box to duct air from underneath the shed to keep the air going into the system sensible temperature. You can see the water outlet there, and that was the box when it's finished off, so nicely sealed against the weather. Right, I hope that was of interest to some of you. As I say, I've been using it for a week or so. It's performing very nicely. We haven't had any exceptionally cold weather since I've fitted it. It's been fairly mild actually, so I haven't really been able to put it to the test. I'm hoping for some cold weather before the winter ends, but than the log burner, because the log burner gets very hot. It can easily overshoot, you know, and you know, even when you shut it down, of course, it's a big lump of cast iron. It continues pumping heat out for a couple of hours, so it's nice to have something very controllable. I don't have to run out and feed it and check that it's not getting too hot and all these things, you know, because up until now, if I wanted to go out in the shed in the evening, I've been running out, lighting the fire, running back into the house to keep an eye on the children, that sort of thing, running out, making sure my shed's not burning down, and feeding it or adjusting it or whatever, just to make sure that, you know, that it's not freezing cold in here when I come out. Being able to just press a button is going to save so much time and energy, and not to mention the peace of mind that the shed's not about to burn down. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.